Call the meeting to order at 6. First item on the agenda is the approval of the agenda.
I move we approve the agenda.
Thanks, Arvid.
Second.
Thanks, Van. We have a motion by Arvid and second by Van to approve the agenda. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Carries. Item 3, other business, discussion and possible action regarding 3A, special event permits. We're going to consider these in totality, or do we have to do them separately?
You can do either one, whatever one you would rather do. You can do one motion to get them all through if you have no questions. If you have questions, you can take them separately.
Okay, so we have special event permits for 3A1 Osceola Summerfest dated Saturday, July 27th, 3A2 Osceola Community Fair, weekend of September 6th, 7th, and 8th, and 3A3 Osceola Wheels and Wings, Saturday, September 7th. I will entertain whatever motion anybody wants to make.
I'll make a motion that we approve all three, 1, 2, and 3 Osceola Summerfest, Osceola Community Fair, and Osceola Wheels and Wings.
Thanks, Van.
I'll second.
Thanks, Marcia. We have a motion by Van and a second by Marcia to approve all 3 special event permits. Any discussion on the motion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Motion carries. 3B, Police Combination St. Croix Falls.
Yeah, we're giving an update tonight of where we're at. At the last meeting, we kind of reached an impasse between us and St. Cloud. The big issue.
St. Croix.
Oh, St. Croix. Thank you. The impasse is based on the structure of the departments. St. Croix wants a chief and 2 sergeants and a detective, right? Investigator, and then everyone else would fall in line in the union contracts. Osceola is seeking that we have a chief and then a detective lieutenant position and 2 sergeants. Kind of was what we were looking at for as our how we would negotiate to keep our lieutenant position. And the reason we are having this discussion is we feel that there needs to be a number 2 in charge, not just the chief, but in case something happened to the chief, there's a person that can step in and be responsible for that. Furthermore, the issue that also arises is that we don't feel that one of our employees should have to take a demotion or a potential loss in pay by this combination. We feel this is a merger, that we should be merging our departments together and not be holding to one city's structure that they currently have. Van or Ron can add anything that you might add. I will field any questions that you have. AJ came tonight to answer any questions that you might have. But that is kind of the impasse that we're at. St. Croix was going to go back to their village, their city council, and see if there's any wiggle room in this. They've been doing things a little different than we have. You guys as a board gave total control to negotiate for the police commission, for Van and Ron to work out those negotiations and improve it when it's final. They've been going to their board after every meeting and saying, we're done this far. Do you like it? And that's not how you negotiate a contract, because the contract's not done until it's signed, because things are always up for interpretation. So we're kind of giving you the time to ask questions, state your belief if you have any, but we feel that it's very important to keep the lieutenant position and keep AJ at his current rank.
But for the person that would potentially be looking at a pay cut, would this be as big of an issue in negotiation?
Yeah, I think so. It's not just the person, it's the position. You know, we see value in police lieutenant here for second command liability, and if something goes down, someone could step up.
And why doesn't St. Croix see that value?
They've never had a non-union supervisor. They've only had a sergeant in the past. They've never had that. Their belief is that they could get by with the chief just doing all the administrative paperwork and the sergeants for supervision in the evening.
Okay. Has there been discussion about potentially allowing the position to come in as the department merger occurs and then not replaced due to attrition? And then further down the road, look at remapping?
No.
And that is not something you're looking to propose?
Well, we certainly can. It doesn't seem like St. Croix will do that, but we can propose that.
Even if we offer to pay for it? Like, we can tell them, hey, we'll bring in this individual making what they're making and we won't replace that position if they leave. Then they come in with whatever ranking they have, and then we are not planning on keeping that until we come to some sort of agreement with the contract. Like, cause otherwise, you're right, one person will have to step backwards and that doesn't make any sense,
No.
so.
Yeah, I mean, we can try that right now.
And
there-
especially if you offer to pay for it. I mean, if Osceola offers to pay this guy's salary in totality, which I think we already do for all of our people, there's really no reason why they shouldn't be amenable to allowing that to happen if it's not written into the structure of the department. I mean, you guys can renegotiate the contract at any point.
Yeah.
You know, upon renewal, you can talk about that structure.
One
but-
big issue they're having is they feel like this is telling the chief how to operate his department, which at this time, there currently is no department. We're talking about the structure of the department. They don't feel there's, the structure wise, this position should exist. And that's kind of the one big thing that we're overcoming right now.
Sure.
But that's kind of the update we're at. We want to let you know that this has been the sticking point. Other than that, we're almost agreed upon everything right now. It's the structure that's really holding us up on this. One last thing would be the administration fee of who's paying for what and who's doing the admin fee. We're still working out that detail, but these are the last two big items that we're working on and we're almost to completion. But this seems to be a very big sticking point for both communities.
Have to keep working at it.
I just want to give you an update. If you have any feedback or anything, feel free to speak, but that was basically what tonight was for, to let you know that where we're at and the challenge that we're running into.
I think that I'm curious for what the reaction would be to Brad's suggestion. I don't want to see someone on our team have to suffer through a demotion and any potential ramifications from that. I don't think that's fair to them. And I also just philosophically believe in the importance of redundancy. And I don't think it is, I don't think it is reasonable to have any sense of possession over the future department, because the future department does not exist yet. We're working to make it. And as part of cooperating, you might not have the exact thing you had before, but there's a compelling reason for us to want to do it. And we recognize that that's valuable to us and that we're giving up some things by doing it. But on balance, we feel it's worth it. And I think that it's the same thing from their side. And so I guess that's kind of my thought, is no one owns a non-existent department. And at the end of the day, it will be jointly controlled by all of us. And I don't particularly take well to feelings of possessiveness at this point in the process. I just don't think that that's well grounded for a project that ultimately is going to be 50-50 and needs to be run that way.
That was our compromise, was creating that lieutenant investigator position, mold it into one.
Mhm.
Because they want an investigator, we want a lieutenant, we just mold that into one position. That was kind of what, and we got met with a hard no, or we'll go back to the board with that. But that is another avenue that we're going down to see if there's an option.
Yeah,
My 2 cents.
we're all still friends, by the way, so it's okay.
Just one disagreement of
No, and
the many conversations we've had.
I mean, it's not to cast aspersions on any of it. I think it's just to state the way that I see the dynamic, which is we are about to become equal partners in a joint department. That requires change for everybody.
I agree, Brad. That's well said. I think Van and I feel the same way, and we've been trying to represent that for, our village and the overall eventual department.
I'd be suspicious if there weren't parts of this process that created an opportunity for
Absolutely.
compromise.
Yeah.
Like, you're not gonna agree on everything. That's the whole point of a negotiation.
So yeah, that's all the update I had. Other than that, we still have to we have to negotiate with the union for new contracts for this compliant department, the administration fee in this one. And after that, I think we're pretty much done with the agreement.
You else have anything?
A few things. Oh, on this topic or?
Moving on. 4, future agenda items and updates. Neil?
No.
Good luck with the election.
Appreciate it.
Mike?
I agreed to the event permits, but I'm seeing a continuing issue with all of them. Like they say that we're gonna provide additional information in the future. Like the Summerfest, we'll get back to you on the insurance. This isn't new. this has been going on for a while. This stuff needs to show up all at once. There was actually an issue with the applicant. One of the applications last month, there was an error in it, but it was a nuance and it just went by.
Which one
I'll
was
tell you
that?
later. Oops, sorry. I think whoever's applying for these things really needs to pay attention to them and do them sooner. Like, why are we having a special
Well, we
election
agree on
or a
that.
special meeting to do this? It's the same thing that happens every.
Yeah.
You know,
And I
it's not the
mean,
first time Wheels and Wings has happened. Why are we talking about it today?
I think it was more so for Summerfest.
yeah,
Sure. But it's the same. We have a monthly meeting and the events should be planned out well enough in advance that they can show up on time to do it.
Agreed.
yeah.
I'd say in the future, I'm gonna probably push back on my votes on them. People can get their stuff together ahead of time. And then, like, I noticed some of the, one thing that jumped out was the street signage, road closures and stuff did not make sense for a Summerfest. And I see Paul Elstrom made some comments to it to adjust it and cleared it up.
Suggested.
Yeah, that seems like Paul's an available person that they could reach out to Paul ahead of time and understand what's going on. You shouldn't be blocking off Chieftain. Halfway down the block, it should go up to the corner on Second. It's like obvious things that if they just, a little more effort maybe, so.
Chief made that comment.
About
Fire chief.
moving them up to,
Police chief.
Andrew did up to Second?
Yeah, the police chief commented and Todd commented.
Yeah, I caught Paul
Oh,
Elstrom's comment. I was zooming through it quick because I initially had saw them trying to block the street off.
My only concern, like, when we had that construction is.
Yeah, exactly.
People would go and then it'd be too late.
You get stuck in there and you can't get turned around, yeah.
So even if it's just a road closed ahead or an event sign, I think that would be adequate.
Yeah, that's a situation where I'm guessing, why did you do the paperwork? Well, yeah. Before you fill the paperwork out and come up with a situation that needs to be corrected, I'd say reach out to those three people ahead of time and figure out what works.
I guess I don't regard it, I mean, they commented on it, it's been fixed, I
I don't
think
want
we're
to do this.
picking fly specks out of the pet. No, I hear your point on the special meeting. I think that I trust staff to be able to work with event organizers to figure out the details where the.
I hope the
barricades need
event
to be.
people show up sooner and ask more questions so that when it shows up, it's already fixed.
Well, I agree on the special meetings point, absolutely.
Sure.
And I guess I think that feels to me a bit like the staff review process worked just fine.
Biden's been informed and he will get it in sooner. And we do have the other two are on here just because we had them and they were all reviewed. So I thought let's put them on.
Sure.
But those ones are very early.
Yeah, those ones are really early.
Those go into August and been fine. I just put them on this one.
Sure. That's it.
Dan?
Yeah, just follow up on these special meetings. Isn't there like a charge for those things?
Talking about that next month.
We're talking about that for next year, yes.
I understand, I mean, we want to see these activities happen, but it's not just this, there's other things. that go
There's
on.
been 3 in the last
The
3
rush
months.
order on something, or I
Yeah.
forgot this, and it's like.
There's been 3 special meetings in the last 3 months due to people not getting things done in time.
Yeah, I mean, I
For
understand.
planning does not constitute
Right.
an emergency on my part.
Well, there you go, see? That's exactly it. And this is a lot of people to have to show up. Other than that, I've got nothing else.
Thanks. Ron?
I've got nothing. Thank you.
I've got nothing.
Arvid, nothing? Marcia? Okay. I don't have anything
I
either.
got 2 things. There's a ribbon cutting for the park on Interstate Park by Trudy
Oh, yeah.
Lorenz. What was the date and time again on that? She just wanted to make sure I informed the board of the ribbon cutting. I will forward the email to everyone on the board tomorrow.
Talking about Osceola Landing?
Yep.
Got it. Okay. I'll ask her.
So when is it?
I'll send the email to you guys.
Oh, okay.
She just sent it today as a reminder to me.
Okay.
But Trudy wants people there at the ribbon cutting.
Okay.
And then the stairs should be done on the 22nd or 23rd. We finally found a company that was willing to come in and clean it up. The quote is about $5,000. I'm still working with the state and the county on a permanent fix rather than but we have to get it cleaned up first and then try to figure out what the permanent fix is going to be. We're reaching out to the DNR and DOT on that.
So is it, will be safe
It'll be safe. We'll make sure there's some type of barricade there blocking.
Okay. So the steps will continue to be closed, but,
When they're open on the 22nd, when they're clean, they'll be open.
okay. But you mentioned something about barricades or something?
Any potential thing that might happen would be in there. At this point, there's virtually no rock left to slide, so
Okay. That's good.
They're just gonna move the rest of the rock down.
put up a like a wood wall almost, I think is the plan.
We just move it down the hill, it can't fall.
It's going nowhere. Thank you.
That,
Okay, thanks, everybody. We'll adjourn at 6:15.
All right.